Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Mark Weber. Indeed, very popular. Mark Weber is the Eyton Director of the Conrad School and Professor of Management and Organizations. Prior to joining the Faculty of Engineering at the University of Waterloo, Mark served and taught courses on leadership, negotiations, and organizational behavior to students at the Rotman School of Management, University of Toronto, the Kellogg School of Management, Northwestern University, INSEAD, and at the Ross School of Business, University of Michigan. Mark's research focuses on leadership, cooperation, negotiations, decision-making, and trust. He consults extensively and has provided training to executives and professionals in the automotive, education, healthcare, pharmaceutical, broadcast media, entertainment, telecommunications, professional services, and financial services industries, and in government at all levels. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to welcome Mark Weber to the podium to address Convocation.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. Vice Chancellor and President, Elder Henry, graduands, parents, partners of the graduands, colleagues, it's an extraordinary honor to be invited to address Convocation. The last time that I had the privilege of addressing a University of Waterloo Convocation was actually in 1994 as the valedictorian for the Faculty of Arts. Now, yeah, I know. As I read that in preparation today, something suddenly dawned on me, which is, graduands, in all likelihood, many of your parents had not yet met when I last spoke to University of Waterloo Convocation. The primary takeaway here is clear: I am very old. The truth is, I'm actually more nervous today than I was in 1994. The reason for my nerves is simply this. Today, I understand better how big a deal this is, how important Convocation is in the life of the university, how momentous the occasion is for absolutely everybody who is assembled. This may be the closest thing that the university has to a ritual, transcendent, holy moment. Everything that we stand for, everything we strive for, everything we as faculty dedicate our lives to professionally is embodied in this moment. Today, we celebrate the quest for knowledge, the solving of worthy problems, the disciplining of thought, the achievement of goals, the nurturing of diverse and vibrant and sometimes complicated community. For many of you, you may be feeling a little bit restless, eager for your moment on the stage and uncertain of what is to come, and that's understandable. For many of you, this is your first Convocation. But before we proceed, I just invite you to pause for a moment and to be fully present to the enormity of this. Graduands, forgive me just a moment to address your parents and guardians, uncles and aunts, grandparents, and anyone else who might have had a hand in raising you. I know the lights are dim. I don't know if the person on the lights is possible to raise the lights in the room just for a moment. Is that possible? I know, I didn't give you warning. Okay, use your night vision, people. Parents and guardians, look at your children. Are they not miracles? Sorry, a little disclaimer here. I've not yet rehearsed this speech without getting emotional, and the reason is quite simple. 50 or 60 of the students graduating today have been in my class. I've been privileged to be a part of their life journey. You're all very close to the age of my eldest son. And when I extrapolate from the people that I know personally, the people who are in front of me right now, I am just a little bit overwhelmed by that. It's an extraordinary moment. Parents, these are the babies that you cradled in your arms and coaxed to sleep. The children that you consoled when they scraped knees or had their feelings hurt. The teens who stretched the limits in ways that were frankly uncomfortable to you, and to them too, but they wouldn't admit it at the time, and they probably won't admit it now either. And here they are, nearing the end of this leg in this hero's journey. The child to whom you may have once read Goodnight Moon is here to have publicly certified that they can solve differential equations. Sometimes. That they can conceptualize climate systems, that they can conceive of ventures that make the world better, build bridges and communities and transportation networks that safely support vibrant commerce while reducing carbon emissions, code intelligent systems that can see and hear, contribute to teams that revolutionize the storage and deployment of energy or the preservation of clean water. They can and will do things, that you and I can scarcely imagine, that even their professors can only dream of. Graduands, in a world that can feel heavy and beset by insurmountable challenges, you are among the world's most skilled warriors in an army of hope. Waterloo warriors all. I mentioned that I graduated from the Faculty of Arts. I self-identify as a social psychologist with a PhD in management, and you might rightly wonder what the heck I'm doing addressing the environment and engineering convocation. The first decade of my academic life was spent in business schools at other universities. But then I immigrated, academically speaking, first to the Faculty of Environment and then again to the Faculty of Engineering. I'm curious, by a little show of hands, how many people here are either immigrants or the children of immigrants, just out of curiosity? Is that not astonishing? What a declaration of the richness and diversity of this country. Admittedly, my immigrations were perhaps less dramatic, profound, or total than the all-encompassing experience that you may have had leaving a country and a culture and moving to another. But I suspect that mine shared some things in common with yours. When I left where I was from, I thought I knew how the world worked. And then I found myself, to quote the title of a 1960s novel, a stranger in a strange land. I had to come face to face with my ignorance in a technical sense. There was stuff that I just didn't know or understand, assumptions that people made that I didn't assume, ways people organized themselves, humor that people found funny, and jokes that I didn't get. And to be honest, still don't. Interests that animated fields that had not necessarily occurred to me before. Maybe if you have not moved from another country, you remember some of these feelings from your first months here at UW. In your life, you will be frequent immigrants in this respect, or at least I hope you will. A life well lived is one in which the world tells you again and again that you just don't get it, or that you don't get it all, or maybe that you don't get the things you think you get. And as you leave the halls of this institution, I want to call on you to orient yourselves in your lives in ways that are curious, confident, and humble. Curious and confident humility is the way any truly educated person must navigate the world. And when you see deviations from that orientation in yourselves or in others, chances are that they are not living up to the true calling of their educations. Be curious, because any alternative locks you out of the possible, contains your degrees of freedom in unnecessary ways, and closes you off to others and the insights that they might share. Be confident, because you have earned your confidence. You know stuff. You have contributions to make, and you will not achieve your potential if you hide what you can contribute. Be humble, because the true complexity of the world is frankly beyond even your grasp. Your challenge is to use what you know to curiously engage in that complex world in ways that welcome the insights and contributions of other people and disciplines and ways of being, to solve for the kind of world that you want your own children to embark on at their convocation approximately 27 years from now. I frankly wish that my generation had gotten some things more right than we did. I suspect I'm not alone. And I assure you that you will feel the same way in 27 years. But my generation has left you tools to use that are more wondrous than anything we could have imagined when we sat where you sit today, and you will do the same. 28 years ago at Convocation, I finished my address by paraphrasing Frederick Buechner on the topic of vocation. In seeking a closing for today, I find I cannot do better now than I did then. A paraphrase of Buechner. The word vocation comes from the Latin vocare and means the work a person is called to do. The place that you are called to, Buechner says, the work that you are called to is where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. The world is hungry for your intelligence, for your commitment, for your creativity, but also for your kindness and your care. As brilliant Waterloo warriors, there will be innumerable challenges to which you could rise, problems you can solve. I join with Buechner today in calling on you to find challenges that also speak to your great gladness, because in that gladness is resilience and purpose and satisfaction. What more could you want? What more could we, your professors, parents, spouses, partners, children, grandparents, friends, want for you? Trust your heart and trust your gut, and also trust the friends and family gathered here to help. I know you will make us all very proud. Congratulations.